Hello and welcome to 15 with Finn, where we spend roughly 15 minutes talking all things integrity with leading surgeons and other industry experts. I'm your host, Adam Finn, Senior Product Manager of Integrity. And with me today is Clint Kehres, Director of Product Strategy at Anika. So essentially, I'm interviewing my own boss, which is kind of a twist on things. So good morning, Claire. How you doing today?
Great. Excited to be here, Adam. Thanks for letting me give 15 with Finn a try.
I thought we would start this series with first talking a little bit about Anika, dig a little bit deeper into, what Anika is, who we are, where we're going, and then talk a little bit more in depth about the integrity system and what we can expect in the future.
Anika is a very, interesting company, and it's what got me excited to join this company. Anika is built around their hyaluronic acid technology. I love that we all wake up every single day effectively looking, how can we move the integrity needle? It's a fantastic product that we are honestly very lucky to have that as our focus. And I think the upside is immense. But where it gets even more exciting, I think, is that's just one step in this platform that we're developing. This hyaluronic acid technology that we have, how we can uniquely weave it into different textiles and shapes and combine it with other materials really, really sets us apart. And this is just step one of kind of where we're going with the technology. You're going to see us expand integrity in its current form, and you're going to see us expand it in different configurations, higher strength configurations, different and new applications, some of which no one has even really touched the markets, and they have massive potential that we can uniquely address with what we can do with HA.
So touching on the market before we dig into integrity, what is the market for augmentation today? Just a high level.
Well, I mean, if you look at just the current market, which I want to caveat that's the current market, right? Because I think we're in a position that we can really, really expand the market size of augmentation. You can look at it a few different ways, but say it's roughly $150 to $200 million in the US when you look at rotator cuff augmentation or different kind of extremity augmentation in foot and ankle with Achilles and peroneal tendon. So that's what we're playing in, but it's an untapped space in other parts of the body. That's where I think the market can really expand to.
So integrity, for those that are unaware, is essentially a hyaluronic acid based scaffold, right? It's got two main components. It has our HYAF component, which comes from a product called Hyalofast sold OUS. And then it has a PET component, which is just essentially standard suture. It's safe, it's effective, been used in the body since the 1950s. And really the three pillars that we're focusing on with integrity is number one, its strength. That's its main differentiator versus the competition, is its intraoperative maneuverability that you have with this. Second is going to be a regenerative quality with our hyaluronic acid. Our studies have shown that we show 3 times tendon thickening versus the market leading competitor, which is excellent. We've seen wonderful outcomes. And then third is our streamlined approach to our fixation. We do a lateral first fixation, which is something that is very different in the industry today. So having said that, Clint, give us a little bit backstory on when Integrity started and kind of where we're at today.
Yeah, so I mean, integrity, the base technology goes way back into Anika. Even right around the times of the acquisitions of Arthrosurface, and the team had been working on ways to create more of a patch that you can manipulate and you can use. But it wasn't really until a couple years after the acquisitions of Arthrosurface that the teams put a dedicated effort into it to not only create the patch and the science and the animal data behind that, but really the instrumentation. That's what took us, a couple years to work through that. It's obviously vital to the success of the product. Surgeons and people expect that we have a great instrumentation system, a disposable system. So yeah, that took us 2 or 3 years to work through those instruments, really refine them, many, many different labs, many different surgeon touch points on them. And a lot of things look a lot different than when they started. The patch even looks different. We had a patch that had significantly more HA in it, which we backed off a little bit, and we ended up with what we have today. So I'm very happy where we landed, but it doesn't mean we're stopping either. So we know that there continues to be small pockets of frustration out there with things, and it's not unexpected. It's an arthroscopic surgery. Everyone's techniques are a little different. Their portable placements are a little different. we want the system to be as forgiving as possible for all different types of techniques and different surgeon skill sets. So you will see us continue to innovate and continue to enhance the system as we go. These are the benefits of a small focused company now. When we used to have a broad spectrum of products, it was really hard to keep every one of them fresh and every joint and anatomy we're in to keep it modern. We have the luxury now of we focus on a couple things and we know we have to do them well so we can continue to invest in, future enhancements with integrity and offshoots of that going forward.
So you mentioned earlier a product called Hyalofast, and I just want to let people know kind of the bridge on how we got to Integrity. So Hyalofast currently sold outside the US. It's for cartilage defect repair, and it is 100% HYAF, or 100% of this esterified hyaluronic acid. And really what we did was we took that technology, we knit it together with the PET for the strength, and that's how we developed Integrity. So tell us a bit about how long Hyalofast has been used to the best of your knowledge, and kind of the data behind that.
Yeah, Hyalofast is a really cool product, and in future episodes of 15 with Finn, we'll get into really the details of Hyalofast when we get closer to it. But it's been used, approximately 15 years outside the U.S. Pretty focused on cartilage repair. But what's interesting about the core technology of Hyalofast, it's used in a variety of applications, and the clinical data is fantastic. We have, I think it's 45 plus publications of the use of Hyalofast in different ways. And the data is fantastic. And so hyaluronic acid at its core has been shown to help with all sorts of different tissue regeneration. It really helps the environment it's in just regenerate. And so it works at a cellular level. When it's in a situation that it knows it needs to make cartilage, that's how it works. It signals those stem cells in that region to regenerate cartilage. Integrity is different. It's used in the rotator cuff primarily. So combining the cellular basis of it with the structure to be, a scaffold, along with the strength, it really is a fantastic platform to regrow tendon and tissue. So it's all based on Hyalofast. It's got massive amounts of clinical data, which more and more of that will come out as we begin launching Hyalofast eventually in the US. But it's not like Integrity's brand new and the science is unproven. It's all built around a technology that's been in place for a very, very long time, and the clinical data is fantastic.
Tell us a little bit about the growth, the progression, and reception of Integrity from surgeons.
It's always nice to exceed expectations, right? That everyone gets excited around that. We put some, I would say some modest expectations around the first 2 quarters of sales for LMR. I mean, obviously we limit things in LMR. We limit the number of doctors that have it. We limit the number of distributors that have it. So it's always got a little bit of a throttle restrictor on it when we do that. But even with that being said, I think we more than doubled our expectations out of LMR. And that's us trying to throttle it back. So that's just the pool you're getting from surgeons, from distributors, pushing that as far as they can go with the limited amounts of product we put out. So then you go to full market release, and things start to really, really accelerate. You've seen in our earnings calls, I think we touted greater than 40% growth quarter over quarter. That is only accelerating. We average probably 20 to 25 new surgeons a month right now that are coming online. Not only are we getting new surgeons, the number of cases each surgeon is doing per month is rising too. So people are getting comfortable with it. They're liking their patients' outcomes, and they're starting to use it at a higher clip. I mean, all signs point to the Integrity train is rolling, and it is picking up steam.
So what are the things that surgeons are saying about Integrity? What drew them to the system? What are their early outcomes looking like with their patients?
Well, it's interesting. So we survey that. So we send out surveys to surgeons who've done more than 3 cases. They're kind of through the learning curve. It's one of the questions we ask. What got you interested in Integrity? By far, the number one answer is the hyaluronic acid non-xenograft scaffold. Many surgeons have used the products on the market. They've obviously performed well. They're kind of behemoths in the market, but they have concerns around the material. Some of them are obviously collagen based and can have some negative reactions to that, especially, with it being a xenograft. There's other products out there that are extremely synthetic. They're not naturally based. And so surgeons are dying for a better solution, a more natural solution. They know cuffs need to be augmented. There's tons of data out there that shows augmenting some sort of biologic augment is immensely helpful for re-tear rates, but they want a better material. And so I'm not surprised at all that we offer that next gen material. Everyone knows hyaluronic acid is naturally found in the body, and it seems in many ways like this. No one ever balks at the material. Like that seems like an obvious application. They might not be aware that we're able to turn it into a scaffold. And so that's intriguing. And then you throw on the strength the PET provides. And so you're not worried about tearing the thing to pieces while you're putting it in. So anyways, long story short, to answer your question, it's number one, it's the hyaluronic acid non-xenograft based scaffold. And then the second thing is the durability of the patch itself. So those are the two things that routinely pop up in our conversations or the surveys we send out.
So admittedly, when we started with this project, we were focusing solely, I won't say solely, but the majority on rotator cuff. If you look at the market data, about 70% of soft tissue augmentation is for rotator cuff, but that's not to discount the other applications. So what have you seen surgeons use Integrity for outside of rotator cuff?
Yeah, I mean, this is the cool part about a technology like ours, where it's universally known it can help a lot of different tendons and a lot of different applications. So, we primarily market it for rotator cuff. We market for foot and ankle applications, specifically Achilles and peroneal tendons, and you'll be seeing us coming out from some, expanded sizing and shapes to better suit some of those applications. But it goes beyond that. I mean, we have people use it for in the hip. We've got patellar tendon, quad tendon. I think we've heard it used in the elbow. It's kind of used everywhere at this point, and that's awesome. I mean, that's testament to people believing the technology and trying to use it in different places. And then we hear all the time from surgeons they want like different strips or shapes of it so they can start using it in even more and more applications. And so we'll be offering that coming forward too.
So when you're expanding into those shapes and sizes, we've talked about this being a platform. Is that essentially just taking the existing Integrity and adjusting the size?
So that's maybe one pillar. That's maybe the easy first pillar. We can quickly, expand it to a different size or a different shape. And so, what I get really excited about, and if you think about my role and our role, right, and strategy here, is kind of the go forward. Where can we really win, and where can we really get some competitive advantages, out in the market? When we think about this, and we just had some meetings internally on this, like from a strategic perspective, I prioritize two things. First is if there are things that we have that surgeons are frustrated about or doesn't meet their expectations, like we have to address those. And that's pretty easy for us to do now. We have a couple products. And frankly, there's not a lot of frustration points. There's a few things that we want to address, but it's minor, which then allows us to really work on the more exciting part of the second part of product strategy, which is truly launching products that have a competitive advantage in the market. They're durable, meaning like a competitor's not going to copy us. They can't copy us quickly. They're valuable, from few different ways you can look at that. Hopefully they either spend more money on our product, they buy more of it, or they go past a competitor to use ours. And then the final thing there is also we need to be operating in a space where there's not a lot of substitutes, where surgeons truly need a new solution. So that's where you can see a ton of value for us going forward. And I won't speak about all of that stuff here in any detail, really, but that's where we can really shine. That whole differentiated part, there are conditions out there. There are different repairs that are kind of untapped for new technology. Some parts of the orthopedic business that's kind of been the same for the last 20, 30, 40 years, that we can really kind of upset that market and really put it up, flip it upside down. That's what I'm really, really excited about. So to answer your question, yes, the shapes and the sizes is something we're moving on, but that's really just the tip of the iceberg. And I'm really, really pumped about kind of where we can go. When you're a small company like ours, if you look around, how do other small companies do well? Is they kind of do one thing and they do it really, really darn well. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to do hyaluronic acid regenerative technology, obviously better than anyone else because nobody has it, but we're going to do the regenerative part of that better than anyone else.
That's great. I will echo that sentiment. I couldn't be more happy that Anika's doubling down in this regenerative space. Obviously, I'm a bit biased being the product manager for Integrity, but what we've seen so far and what we have coming down the pipeline is absolutely amazing. I couldn't not be more excited. So I'll leave you with this. If you guys want more information, go to our website, Anika.com. We do post heavily on LinkedIn, Instagram. If you want more information about Integrity, you can reach out to me, Finn, Finn, at Anika.com. Reach out to your local commercial people in your regions. We want to share this story with everyone so that patients can have better outcomes, surgeons can have better results in their surgeries, and everything will just move smoothly from there. So, Clint, I thank you so much for your time today. Any closing thoughts for our listeners?
I just want to thank you, Adam. You've been awesome through the launch of Integrity, the development of it, the training of it. So I echo Adam's sentiment here. If you guys have any questions, you want any training, you need demos, you need any help at all, Adam is a wealth of knowledge here, fantastic in front of our surgeon customers. So Adam would like nothing better than to get on the phone with you, get in front of your doctor, and tell him about the benefits of Integrity.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you for tuning in. More episodes to come. Stay tuned.